Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Entrepreneurs Lunch and Learns. I'm here today with Jose Couvertier, and who's with AgroBeads, an innovative product line. I'll get into those details. If you're tuning in for the first time or you've been following around, Uncommon Entrepreneurs was founded in Puerto Rico last year as an opportunity for entrepreneurs to network and meet and gather. Now that we're not meeting in person, given everything that's going on, we're highlighting key entrepreneurs in the entrepreneurial community, giving them the microphone to share their story and experiences and talk about innovative solutions and ways to improve the local ecosystem for entrepreneurs, and promote and spread positive messages and build the community together, bridging the gap between Puerto Ricans and those that have relocated down here for Act 2022-60 or just for whatever reasons. And because together, bridging gaps and bridging ideas and having cooperation plus competition, we can really start to thrive. My name is Drew. I've been your host and moved down to the island of Puerto Rico a couple of years ago, and down here for various reasons. Love the sunshine. It's just an amazing island for many reasons, and it's flourishing from an entrepreneur's perspective. So subscribe, share, leave comments if there's type of content that you want to hear. If you what are you getting out of this? What are you looking for? This is a social experiment where we're going live with key people in the community, and we invite you to be a part of this because again, we're better together. So giving you some background on Jose. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you, Drew, for having me. Hola a todos los que están viendo.
He is a local agripreneur, and he serves as the CEO and Business Development Officer for PRatian LLC, which has developed a product called AgroBeads, which is an innovative soil product line that he'll get into. He was born and raised in Puerto Rico, where he attended the University of Puerto Rico Mayaguez, where he graduated with a BS in Chemical Engineering and a certificate in Business Administration. And as an undergrad, he worked with the development of different drug delivery systems to treat fungal infections at a cellular level and develop a more efficient pharmacological therapies. Technically, he currently uses further development with AgroBeads, so played in with that. He went to study law at the UPR Piedras Law School, where he worked as a law clerk in various law firms, working on matters involving corporate law, intellectual property, labor law, contract law, and also participated as a student attorney in the intellectual property and entrepreneurship legal aid clinic, and where he helped form legal foundations for various startups. AgroBeads is the first ever to ever combine water and nutrients on a single biodegradable product. Their patent-pending, innovative, slow-release mechanism takes care of your plant's initial nutrient needs. Just add soil in a 1-to-1 ratio with AgroBeads, and that's all you need to rewater for every 2 weeks. So welcome. Appreciate it.
Wow, thank you for that introduction.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, kind of fill us in the blanks. I know I read some of the bio, but, explain your background, and, you're from Puerto Rico, right? And
yeah,
so
I was born and raised in the island. I went to CROM, which is in Mayaguez. It is a boarding school. It is specialized in science and math. So I knew that I wanted to do something with science and math once I graduated high school. What I didn't knew was that I was going to be an entrepreneur. That came later. While I was in school, for my BS in chemical engineering, I did a lot of research. I love research. I thought I was going to go to I thought I was going to go to grad school, but then I thought I could do more than just doing research. I really thought that I could help people in a more one-on-one setting, and that motivated me to go to law school. But in law school, I didn't knew that I wanted to do what I am doing right now, which is IP law. And then in law school, I started taking different courses on IP law, intellectual property law, for those who don't know the IP thing. And I fell in love with it, Drew. I fell in love with it. In the clinic, that opened my eyes. I started working with entrepreneurs here in the island. They came seeking help, different kind of help, from trademarks to like incorporation and so forth. And I love that. I love doing that. I love seeing that what I was doing was not just helping these people, but in the grand scale was helping the island. And after that, Axel came to me asking me to help him start this company. And 3 years later, here I am.
So Axel's your business partner.
See, yeah, Axel is my business partner. He's the founder and creator of the AgroBeads. He's currently in MIT doing his PhD. And I'm here in working with all that has to do with the business, and he is the one who works with all that have to do with the technology.
Amazing. So you're in law school. What's the gap? So you meet Axel. What kind of motivated you to take the entrepreneur path?
Yeah. So just to give a bit more of clarity, I met Axel in high school. We went to CROM together. So I have known Axel for around 11 years now, or a bit more. So we were friends before we started this. We're still friends, obviously. But at the beginning, it was more, I was trying to help a friend. Like I had a few knowledge on how to work with entrepreneurs, as I've been doing that in law school. But it was more like, okay, I will help you, but I don't really know if this is for me. I'm seeking other stuff. I want to go to a law firm and so forth. But later, when we started doing this, it captivated me. The work was so diverse. I met so many people. I think I could use all my potential to develop something that will be good for society at a grand scale, and also for Puerto Rico. And we can really put Puerto Rican name all over the place worldwide. And we have done. So far with AgroBeads, we have traveled even to China. So that's something that I don't believe that I would be able to do if I wasn't here.
That's awesome. So let's maybe take a moment to, talk about what AgroBeads is and all that more in depth.
Yeah, sure. So AgroBeads is the first product that is able to combine water and nutrients inside a biodegradable sphere. How it works is that this little sphere, it's a shame that I couldn't bring some AgroBeads today, but this little sphere contains water and nutrients, and once you plant with it, you don't have to fertilize or irrigate your plants for a month. So it constantly delivers this water and nutrients directly to the plants. It also helps the plants grow stronger, faster, and healthier, especially in the germination stage. So if you're germinating plants from seeds, our product helps them germinate faster, which eventually will give farmers a higher yield in their crops.
Interesting. So is it a commercial product, or is it more for local, just people with just plants at their home?
No, it works as both. So we're currently serving the B2C market. We're in that market. We are targeting houseplant owners. So everyone who have plants out there can go to agrobeads.net and buy our product, because it will ease the way that you irrigate your plants, and most so if you do it daily. And also, the probabilities that your plant will survive more than a month are greater with our product, because most people love plants, love having them, but they forget to irrigate it. They're busy with their schedules, and most plants die. But we're also planning to serve the B2B market. Those are more for farmers, edible crops farmers. And there we're seeking to help them with irrigation cost.
And this is biodegradable, it's sustainable?
Yeah, it is biodegradable, it is sustainable. The mission behind our product is to be a better and more sustainable way of irrigation, because currently all the irrigation systems that exist right now, most of the water that is used is wasted. And in the long run, that will affect our most important resource, which is water. We can run out of water even if people don't look at that way.
So your plant doesn't need as much water with your product, therefore...
Definitely, yeah.
Huh. Sounds like a win-win-win. You save time, your plant doesn't die, that's cool. Interesting. Got it. So I know you've passed the first USDA phase, is that right?
Yeah, so we were lucky enough to win an SBIR phase 1 with the USDA. We have already submitted phase 2, so we are still waiting on that, but we are confident that we will win it.
So how does that process been? How's that going?
For everyone out there that wants to submit an SBIR, my recommendation would be that you start early, because it is a process that takes time, especially the back and forth with the revisions, with the review of the application. Like, you have to submit an impeccable application. So time is key. You start early. We started probably like 3 to 4 months before the deadline. And even so, always the last week before the deadline is crazy, because you're pretty confident of what you have been doing, but last revisions come in, feedback, incorporating that feedback into the final application. So definitely time. And secondly, if you need help, you can go to sources like Colmena 66, which they are amazing. The Puerto Rican Scientific Trust, they have people there that are really willing to help, as they have helped us before. So yeah, you have the resources out there. Just go seek for them, and definitely manage your time. Start early.
That's good. So kind of pivoting a little bit in questions, you've been through multiple business accelerators on the island, right?
That's correct.
They have, Pre-18, they have Parallel 18.
Wayacan, the Rising Entrepreneurship program from the Bravo Family Foundation, which is fairly new, but we were lucky enough, again, to be part of the first cohort.
So what is a business accelerator, and how has that helped you?
Yeah, so for everyone out there, Business Accelerator, the sole purpose of them is to give you equity-free money so you can develop your idea, and sometimes help you go to market with your first product if you already have a product already developed. So in Puerto Rico, the first one we did was Wayacan. They mostly help us with our business plan, all the gist of how you do a business plan, how you do a marketing plan, all that stuff that you probably, now universities are more focused in entrepreneurship, but when I graduated, those weren't the focus, so I learned that on the go, which make it a bit more difficult. But Wayacan helped us a lot. Then Pre-18 gave us that foundation that we needed to go to market with our first version of AgroBeads. And later on, Parallel, we started already marketing our product there. Kind of a test bet, like to see if our product have a market fit, to see if the prices were right, if the people resonated with our product. So, and now we are in the Rising Entrepreneurship program from the Bravo Family Foundation. And I would say that program is perfect for giving you networking all around. The mentorship in that program is top-notch. So we're very thankful to each one of these accelerators. And I would recommend everyone out there that have a startup or is planning to have one or start one, that you're not alone. These programs are here to help you, so take advantage of that. Apply to them. If they say no, apply again until they say yes, because I know that in this island, there's a lot of people that have amazing ideas, and we need you.
Love it. And is there a program if somebody just has an idea to get started?
Yeah, so most universities, including the University of Puerto Rico and Grupo Wayacan, they have this program called iCorps. iCorps is mostly to do customer discovery. So for us, and especially for me, that will be the first step. if you're starting something new, you want to know who's your customer, how you sell to this customer, how you approach these customers. So my recommendation would do to seek out those I-Corps opportunities all over the world and apply to them. And then after you do the I-Corps and you already have your customer discovery already done, you can apply to whichever other accelerator and just start developing your idea and later on your marketing and commercialization plans.
So if you were to start all over again, would you have followed the same kind of path you just described, or how would you go about that for somebody out there looking at to decide which one or whatever?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question, Drew, because even though probably at the beginning we weren't sure what we were doing, we have this amazing idea, which is still amazing, but we didn't truly knew how to get this help that we now had. So I guess I will do it the same, because we pretty much, when growing, which is one of the programs that we did, Guayacan was foundation, PRIATIN was foundation, then Parallel helped us with the commercialization of our technology, and now the REP program has helped us go to the next level. So I think even if we didn't knew what we were doing at that time, we kind of follow a very cohesive path. But the only thing that I would have done before was an I-Corps, because we did one until now. But how we are using our I-Corps right now is not for B2C, it's more for B2B. So we still are taking advantage of that program.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that all sounds amazing. And so for any entrepreneurs out there that are young, that are with ideas, do you have any encouraging words, or how would you leave them with something?
Yeah, definitely. So if you have an idea, it doesn't have to be an amazing idea or $1 million idea. The important thing is that you execute on it, you develop that idea, you use that idea for the good of Puerto Rico and the world, and just go out there. I think what hold many people is that they believe that to be an entrepreneur, you have to have like this amazing or $1 million idea. And if you don't have that idea, then you're not an entrepreneur. And that's, for me, that's false, because the important thing is that you are doing something, you're bringing more work to the island, you're hiring people, you're developing stuff. And later on, that idea, even if it doesn't start as a $1 million idea, can turn into a $1 million idea. So just do it. That would be my recommendation. Do it. The help is out there. You're not alone. I think Drew will put my information down below. So just reach out, send me a text, send me an email. I will gladly help you.
That's great. Is there any organizations, or for, let's say, I think a key part of the entrepreneurial process is to associate with people that are also going through this similar type of exposure and change? And are you in any organizations, or how do you get ideas? Or
an informal community of us entrepreneurs that know each other because we've been through this together.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So switching topics, let's talk about agriculture in Puerto Rico. It's one of the reasons, Jose, that I'm so excited to have you on is that, Puerto Rico imports upwards of like 90% of their products.
Last time it was 80.
It was 80.
Yeah.
And, in a time like the world's in right now, importing is pretty dangerous when you have very fertile land. I mean, the land is like just, you put a seed, you throw a seed in the soil and it comes up type idea. So, in that type of context, how would you describe the agriculture scene at the moment down here from your experience, maybe starting with that?
Yeah. So this is a very good question too, because obviously, I'm not an expert, but from my experience, when we started this business and we started talking to different farmers and other people that do agriculture in the island, we have noticed that it's the young people that are starting to revive this movement of starting to grow edible crops for them and for their communities. And it's starting as a community movement. So that gives me the hope to, like, in the near future, we can have more people interested. Instead of being a lawyer or being an engineer, you can have more farmers. You can have more people that study agriculture. Because, like you said, Puerto Rico, we have so many different types of soils, and you cannot find that almost anywhere else in the world. We're a very blessed island in that sense, so we should take advantage of that. And I'm happy to have worked with young people, young entrepreneurs that have their own farms, small farms, and they produce their own food for them and for their communities, and they even sell to local supermarkets here in the island. So yeah, I encourage you all to start this movement again. We have the type of soil needed to grow almost every fruits out there and vegetables. And it will be great to see that Puerto Rico can turn that around. Instead of importing 80% of all the food that we consume, we can start producing our own food and maybe import 20 or 10%. And I can see that possible. Coffee is a great example. So after Maria, people started reviving the coffee industry in the island, and thanks to other organizations like Comprometidos, they help a lot of coffee growers to revitalize their land and start growing coffee. And now coffee is significantly greater in the island, and which is funny because many people, including a lot of my United States friends, say that Puerto Rican coffee is the best coffee.
Yeah.
So just like coffee, I believe we can replicate that to all other sorts of, like, food producing crops.
That's great. I appreciate the feedback on that. And, if you're watching, and have comments and questions, feel free to leave the notes, share, subscribe, and let us know kind of, feedback. This is very helpful information. I appreciate it, Jose. So, maybe talking on like the bigger scale regarding kind of like infrastructure and improvements that you would make kind of on the island. We were just talking about that. Or is there other kind of suggestions that you see are kind of maybe missing, that there might be like an opportunity for an entrepreneur out there, or just in general that maybe changes could be made?
Yeah, definitely a lot of changes can be made in Puerto Rico, especially doing the process of incorporation easier and more flexible to these entrepreneurs that don't really have the monetary amount of money to, like, create their own stuff. Like, we need to help those that have ideas and don't have. What I want to say is that this should be open to everyone. Like, it shouldn't be just for a selected few or those who can afford to be entrepreneurs. And I believe we can do a better job as an island to motivate more people from different communities around the island to create stuff, to see them, to tell them we are here and we want to help you. And I think for me, that's something that I always criticize, and I believe we can do more.
Yeah, I think that's great, and encouraging entrepreneurship. Small business is, historically where most of the new jobs come from, and to give. So I'm hearing you say, like, just make the process simpler to incorporate, and just kind of simplify that process. Yeah. And fundraising and connecting to invest. Have you raised money for?
Yeah, so we've been bootstrapping all the way. So we have raised a lot of money from different grants and different organizations, private and local government organizations. But we haven't do a proper, like, investor raise, but we have selected not to do it yet because we wanted to have more control of our company and the people who came in. And thankfully, we have been lucky enough to be able to support ourselves with these grants. But that's not the case for everyone, right? And that's what I want to make better, like to have funds coming from the government and other private organizations, or them to work together, so we can have more people and encourage more people to bring their ideas and move forward with them and create new jobs and possibly new corporations in the future.
How did you find the grants, or where would you point people to resources on that front?
Yeah, so that's a full-time job in itself. So grants, I recommend you to go to the different government webpage, especially the federal government. They have different entrepreneurship grants and different funds that you can take advantage of. Especially after this pandemic, there's a lot of open doors in terms of grants. So I would start there. In Puerto Rico, it's a bit more difficult, but if you have Colmena in your newsletter, they send a lot of grants that you can apply. They send a lot of things that you can submit applications for to win cash prize. So yeah, I would say Colmena, local and federal government webpage, and just talk to other people. Like other people will point you, other entrepreneurs will point you to what they have done and how they have found themselves.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all very helpful and useful, and creating more opportunity for people down here in Puerto Rico is kind of everything. Kind of an interesting app that has come out is Produce recently. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I love Cristal. We were together in PRatian or parallel. Don't kill me, Cristal. But yeah, her app is amazing. So she's one of these players that I'm talking about. That she's young, she is interested in agriculture, and she's doing the most that she can to help the island import less and consume more local, right? And her app is amazing. So how it works is pretty simple. So you buy a subscription, and they send you to your door. They bring to your door different local produces, and that way they are helping farmers produce more, and they're incentivizing farmers to produce more. They're helping people eat more healthy and also eat local. And they are also helping restaurants acquire these hard-to-find items and very succulent items from the island. So yeah, I love her. I love her platform. I love her, and we work together. So that's amazing.
That's great. Yeah, like to eat products that have been flown in from Chile or around the world versus something that's came 45 minutes up the road.
Exactly.
I mean, the nutrient content that's going to be in that fruit or vegetable is so much higher here. Plus, you're supporting the local economy and in the land, and it just seems to have so many advantages.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, connecting the dots, and, that's the, wonderful thing about, entrepreneurs and everything that everybody's producing. So, so good. So where would somebody buy your product, or how is that?
Yeah. So you can buy our product through our e-commerce platform, which is www.agrobeads.net. And this is a premise. So we are planning to do a subscription model probably in the next month. So you will have the opportunity to subscribe and receive our product at your door every month.
That's awesome. Yeah. And do you ship off island?
Yeah, so we're working on that. We currently do, but we're doing more development on our product shelf life, so we can ship worldwide. Got it.
So good. So I mean, feel free to check out the website, get some information. It's very reasonable. If I read it correct, It was like $6, $10, something to give your plant the life it needs and save you the time and
money.
Exactly. So good, because we're kind of wrapping things up. Any other kind of tips out there for up and coming entrepreneurs that have has helped you to create the success you and Axel have in the last 3 years? Any kind of just tips that come to mind?
Yeah, and I will sound kind of repetitive, but you're not alone. Just don't be afraid. Just look for help. People are very willing in this kind of world, especially in Puerto Rico. Many people are willing to help you create wonderful stuff, because in the end, we all have the same goal, which is we want to have a more. We want to create a Puerto Rico like a startup hub. So that's the goal, right? We want to create this ecosystem. We want to have more entrepreneurs. We want to have more people with greater ideas and put Puerto Rican's name out there. So yeah, so we're willing to help. Just search for help if you're stuck. And if not, just do it.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Amazing.
Joe.
Yeah.
This was a great time, and I hope people enjoy it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So sign on. We'll be doing these weekly on Wednesday and Friday. And if you have additional subjects you want to cover or people, let us know. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is a community effort. And even if you're not in Puerto Rico and you're watching, and the beauty behind this is these ideas are, can be used in your backyard too, maybe with different accelerators. But this is, we're all in this together as we're going through this, major change in history. And we invite you along on the journey. So appreciate it, Jose.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Adios.